2025 SEC football schedule analysis, anticipating the initial loss for each of the 16 conference teams. The SEC stands unrivaled in its schedule strength. This assertion comes straight from Commissioner Greg Sankey, who has confidently stated throughout the summer that he anticipates a strong representation for his conference in this year's college football playoff. However, the chances of the SEC crowning an undefeated conference champion are quite low, given the immense talent spread across the league. The SEC is determined to dethrone the Big Ten and reclaim its position as the premier conference in college football. As we delve into the schedules of all 16 SEC teams, we have made predictions regarding when each team might face their first defeat. These forecasts align with our preseason bowl projections as we gear up for the 2025 season and offer insights into how we envision the season unfolding. Hashtag SEC Strength of Schedule Rankings for 2025.
Georgia gets a favorable matchup, while Oklahoma faces a tough path. Alabama Crimson Tide projected first loss at Georgia. September 27th, Kalen DeBoer's squad will be well prepared, having secured victories against Florida State and Wisconsin in their non-conference games before kicking off SEC play against Georgia in Week 5. This matchup is significant, as it carries substantial playoff implications for the winner. Last season, the Crimson Tide built a commanding lead in their classic encounter, only for the Bulldogs to rally in the second half. This time, expect a tighter contest with fewer total points. Arkansas Razorbacks projected first loss at Ole Miss September 13th. Coach Sam Pittman is hoping for a much improved performance when the Razorbacks visit Ole Miss in Week 3. Especially after last season's disheartening 63-31 defeat.
While Arkansas is expected to perform better this time,
Ole Miss will have the advantage of coming off a conference game against Kentucky. We won't have a clear picture of Arkansas's capabilities after presumed wins against Alabama A&M and Arkansas State. And it's worth noting that the Razorbacks haven't won in Oxford since 2017. Auburn Tigers projected first loss at Oklahoma September 20. Auburn will enter Norman ranked nationally, riding a 3-0 start that includes a season-opening win against Baylor, which should energize their fan base. This game will feature two explosive offenses, with former Sooners quarterback Jackson Arnold making his much-anticipated return to Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Unfortunately, for the third consecutive year under Hugh Freeze, the Tigers are expected to lose their SEC opener. Florida Gators projected first loss at LSU September 13. Defeating LSU in Baton Rouge is a formidable challenge, especially under the lights.
Florida has struggled in recent years with a record of 1-6 in their last 7 away games against LSU.
This game is crucial for the Tigers' playoff aspirations this fall and marks the beginning of a grueling stretch for Florida, facing 4 consecutive top 20 teams. The quarterback duel between DJ Lagway and Garrett Nussmeier promises to be a thrilling spectacle. Georgia Bulldogs projected first loss at Auburn. October 11, this matchup could send shockwaves through the SEC midseason. The Bulldogs have dominated the Tigers recently, winning 11 of their last 12 encounters, including 8 in a row. However, this Auburn team is different, and with Georgia arriving at Jordan-Hare undefeated according to our projections, the stakes are high. The Tigers will benefit from a crucial bye week before this game, which could be pivotal for Freeze as he seeks a signature win in his tenure.
Kentucky Wildcats projected first loss versus Ole Miss September 6th.
If Mark Stoops can lead Kentucky to a second consecutive victory over Ole Miss in Week 2, it would be a significant achievement. Last season, the Wildcats disrupted what was expected to be a playoff run for the Rebels in Oxford. This time, Ole Miss will be eager to prove themselves in Lexington, and a repeat of last year's upset seems unlikely. LSU Tigers projected first loss at Clemson. August 30th, despite being one of 4 SEC teams projected to make the playoffs this year, the Tigers may face backlash after their season opener. A missed opportunity in Week 1 could leave fans dissatisfied,
especially after a promising offseason filled with key transfers. The response from Nussmeier and his team will be crucial in determining their trajectory as one of the SEC's elite teams.
Mississippi State Bulldogs, projected first loss, versus Tennessee, September 27th. Jeff Lebby and the Bulldogs are expected to start strong, potentially going 4-0, including a victory over Big 12 contender Arizona State. However, they will face a reality check in their SEC opener. With quarterback Blake Shapen healthy and a revamped roster, the Bulldogs are looking to bounce back from a disappointing 2024 season. Missouri Tigers, projected first loss, versus Alabama October 11. Eli Drinkwitz has received a favorable schedule for 2025, as Missouri won't leave home until Week 8. This 6-game home stretch includes games against Kansas, South Carolina, and Alabama, and it's likely they will lose at least one of these contests. Oklahoma Sooners, projected first loss, versus Texas October 11th, Dallas. Imagine the excitement of the Red River rivalry if both teams enter the game undefeated and ranked in the top 10. If the Sooners can defeat Michigan and Auburn in the opening month, they will head to Dallas with a perfect record. Brent Venables needs a strong start to avoid a repeat of last season's struggles. Ole Miss Rebels, projected first loss, versus LSU September 27th. This game marks the beginning of a challenging stretch for Lane Kiffin and the Rebels, as they face 5 ranked opponents this season. LSU will visit Oxford after a tough first month that includes games against Clemson and Florida. The stakes are high for the Tigers, who need a win to break a 5-year streak of home teams winning in this rivalry. South Carolina Gamecocks, projected first loss at Missouri September 20th. If South Carolina can start the season 5-0 before their bye week, they will become a popular pick for the college football playoff. However, they haven't navigated the first 6 weeks unscathed since 2012 and have struggled against Missouri, losing 5 of their last 6 encounters. Their first true road game will be a challenging test. Tennessee Volunteers, projected first loss, versus Georgia, September 13. Kirby Smart has had Tennessee's number, not losing to them since a dramatic last-second victory in 2016. With changes at quarterback, this matchup will be a significant challenge for whoever Josh Heupel selects to lead the team against the reigning champions. Texas A&M Aggies, projected first loss, at Notre Dame. September 13, the Fighting Irish will host the Aggies in their home opener, and Texas A&M, who narrowly missed the SEC championship game last year, will face a tough challenge. Notre Dame has retained much of its talent from last season, making this an uphill battle for the Aggies. Texas Longhorns, projected first loss, at Florida, October 4th, as our preseason favorite to win the SEC and one of the 4 playoff contenders. The Longhorns are unlikely to finish the season without a loss. The schedule is significantly tougher than last year, and the Swamp is known to be a daunting environment for visiting teams. Interestingly, these teams last faced off in Gainesville in 1940, with Texas leading the all-time series 3-0-1. Vanderbilt Commodores, projected first loss, at South Carolina, September 13. Virginia Tech is expected to start the season 0-2 against SEC teams, including a loss to Vanderbilt at home. The following week, the Commodores will likely fall to South Carolina, a team they haven't beaten in SEC play since 2008, marking 16 consecutive losses. This matchup is one that quarterback Diego Pavia has highlighted as a key game for the team this offseason.